So we go to factors that may shift the supply curve. So, well, the factors that will shift the supply curve are basically non-pricing factors. So that means shifting to the right or to the left. Factors that may shift the supply curve. Price is the main factor that affects supply. However, a range of other factors may also have an impact, unlike a change in price, which results in movement along the supply curve. Changes in these other factors can cause the supply curve to shift. So we have other factors like the first one, the cost of production. Though we talked about the cost of production, which is if firms are, cost of production would reduce supply into the market because firms will not have the incentive to produce more. That is for cost of production. So an increase in the cost of production will shift the supply curve leftward from S1 to S2. And a fall in the cost of production or reduction in the cost of production will bring about an incentive for firms. They will be willing to produce more because at that point in time they can generate revenue and more profit. As a result of that, they are willing and able to produce more. The supply curve will shift rightward from S1 to S3. Clear? That is for cost of production. Then indirect taxes. When we talk about indirect taxes, we are talking about taxes on consumption or taxes on spending or taxes on expenditure. Example of indirect tax is the value added tax, VAT. So if there's an increase in indirect taxes, it represents an increase in the cost of production. Because if firms, they also buy from suppliers, raw materials. So whenever they buy raw materials from suppliers, and there's an increase in indirect taxes, it means the cost for raw materials would have increased. If the cost of raw materials increases, it will reflect in the cost of production, shifting the supply curve leftward from S1 to S2. Do you get it? So indirect, when you talk about spending on taxes on spending, you wouldn't think spending about consumers alone. Producers also buy from other businesses. That's what we call B2B, business to business. So as a business, you can buy from your suppliers. If you're buying from your suppliers, it means indirect tax has to be paid. And an increase in indirect tax there increases your cost of production, which means you have to pay more than what you used to pay. Do you get it? So the supply curve will shift leftward. While a fall in indirect taxes would reduce the cost of production for firms. As a result, the supply curve will shift rightward from S1 to S2. Is it clear? Yeah. Okay. Then we have, where do we go? Subsidies. That's the next one. Are you there? For subsidies, we're talking about financial help from government. So if government helps financially, it makes your cost of production to reduce. And if your cost of production reduces through subsidy, it gives you an incentive as a firm or other firms to produce more. The supply curve will shift rightward from S1 to S3. Is it clear? Yeah. And if government wants to cut spending, cutting spending means unemployment would increase. Cutting spending means aggregate demand would fall. Cutting spending means income level would fall. This will result into firms not making revenue, not selling as they used to sell. So their revenue they will lose revenue. As a result of that, supply curve will shift leftward from S1 to S2. Is it clear? Then we move on. Changes in technology. For technology makes things to become faster and better. It increases efficiency. So with advancement in technology, firms will be able to increase their efficiency, shifting the supply. And if efficiency is increased, output will increase, shifting the supply curve rightward from S1 to S3. Do you get it? That's about technology. Technology will not reduce output. So we're not going to talk about that. Because firms would always move forward. We don't go backward now. The natural factors. The production of some goods is influenced by natural factors such as the weather, natural disaster, or the presence of pests. So let's just talk about, when we talk about natural disaster, we're talking natural factors. It could be natural disaster or it could be rainfall. So whatever things that it's natural that we cannot control, that brings about a halt in production, we shift the supply curve leftward. Like tsunami, flood, all these things, which, especially for agricultural products, it stops the production of agricultural products. It reduces the output of agricultural products. The supply curve will shift leftward from S1 to S2. Clear? And still for natural factors, we could talk about weather condition. A favorable weather condition will mean that agricultural products will grow. So that will shift the supply curve for agricultural products rightward from S1 to S3. The quantity supplied in the market will increase from Q1 to Q3. Is it clear? Then we have the multiple choice question. Which of the following will shift the supply curve to the left? The supply curve to the left.
A.
No. To the left, from S1 to S2.
Okay. Government subsidy.
No, it will shift it rightward.
Ah, okay. Never mind. High production costs.
Yeah, high production costs.
Okay.
That will be disincentive for firms. So they wouldn't want to produce further, shifting the supply curve leftward.
It will benefit them.
Yeah, a bumper wheat harvest across the world resulting from favorable weather conditions will do what?
Shift the supply curve for wheat to the right.
To the right. I told you earlier that a favorable weather condition will increase the output, shifting the supply curve rightward. I think it's clear. So shifting supply is done.
Yes.